G'day viewers, my name is Michael and welcome back to Single Racer. And today's video will be in two parts, with the first part, or the major reason for this video, only being a tiny portion of the whole video itself. And that's to say thank you so much to the subscribers, or especially the say last 200 or 300, which I haven't thanked before, but all the new subscribers that have helped me get across the 1,500 subscriber mark. It's been a fantastic ride along the way. But the second reason for the video is because a lot of my subscribers, the people that comment under my videos, are also Sim-Rcing channels. And given that I like to try and give back to the sim-racing community, I wanted to make you aware of roughly 10 channels that might be new to you. You might know a couple, you might know them all, but I wanted to take this opportunity to give you 10 possibly new channels that you might not have seen before. But what I'd also like to do is just give a couple of bits of advice, just in case there's someone watching saying, I've always wanted to start my own channel. And it's a couple of tips that have helped me, because a lot of it is what you'd call the snowball effect. We're all trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, which is where you start to get paid, but you're trying to improve on that and just get bigger and better as you go. So it's a couple of tips that I've learned along the way, and so this is what makes me want to point out the first two channels, because I feel it's very important when you are considering starting a new channel. And so just to give you a guide on what I'm talking about, let's start with the first channel, which I've actually covered just recently before, and that's RearView Closet. The reason I want to bring him up again is because this is a channel that I feel deserves a lot more than 1,000. I personally feel he deserves more than 10,000 subscribers, and that's because he goes, as you can see here on the second row, into a lot of hardware reviews and also dissections, like if things go wrong or how to fix certain things. Now, one of the things that's important to me is, as far as a channel is, I kind of like to keep my amateur status, and that's simply because the first two channels that I want to talk about, it's hard work, and you swing, or at least for myself, I should talk about myself, I swing wildly from wanting to try and go professional, meaning to get more professional gear like cameras and things like that, and even do a new intro. But then there are the times where I go, I haven't played a personal game for myself for ages, because it's always about the next video, the next video, the next video, and there are times where you just want to throw it away. So I feel it's important to show both sides to it, but I feel VR Closet is a channel that's not going to go away. And I used to do a thing called Channel of the Month, but I kind of put it in the back shelf because a lot of channels realized how hard it is to do a channel, or how much effort it is to do a channel, and just stopped. So I decided, not to promote channels that are stopping, but I do want to cover a couple of things in these first two channels. And so on that basis, I just want to be clear that these first two channels don't appear to be like serious channels in the sense that maybe they've realized how hard it is to do a channel, but they are subscribers of mine, so I just want to give them a shout out anyway. And that is the first one being Richys Racing, and as you can see here, it's been a month since he's done a video. And the second one is Racer1234, a very clever name there. It's most people's password, but yeah, the same thing. It's been a couple of months. Now, in fairness, there is a channel called Devon Booth, and he has a YouTube channel, but it's his second, priority, in the sense that he's over on Twitch. So I haven't asked these two, maybe they've got a Twitch channel. So the YouTube thing is like a second priority. But I did want to give you one little tip here, because I actually do this myself. So if this can help someone who's starting a new channel, it's not gospel, you don't have to do it, but I just want to people to know that this is what I do, so it could help get you another subscriber. And so as an example, here we are on my channel, and we'll just go to the latest video, and I'll just pause it just so the sound doesn't interfere, and we'll come down here. Now, I've been asking everyone permission to do screen grabs of their channel just to get confirmation that it's okay, and I'm doing this without asking Steen. Now, Steen's a great example where I think Steen was a person that I used to race against on a channel called The Extra Mile, and he used to have these Sunday sub showdowns, and we all raced together, and Steen's a fantastic hotlapper and racer. But as the example, I'll use his channel because I know he's not doing videos now, and it just could be I'm lucky enough to be single. A lot of married people just don't find the time anymore to be able to do the channel. So, you know, I can't say in his case, but I hope he doesn't mind that I use him as the example. But what I would do is if I got a new subscriber and I see the name there, I would immediately open up their channel to see if they've got a channel, and then come to their about page and see he has no information about his channel. So it's without knocking Steen at all, it's just about the advice for new channels who are starting out to have a little bit about. So for instance, when you come over here is, do you like Automobilista 2? Are you an AC fan? Do you race in R Factor 2? Or are you an F1 driver like Ferrari Man 601? What actually is your channel, your main theme about the channel? And that can help be the difference between, oh no, I want to subscribe to this channel, or oh, that sounds interesting, yeah, I'll go and click on subscribe. So as I am here, because I just like to support other channels. But yeah, it's just a little bit of advice that if you're starting out, to always make sure you write something in the about column if you feel like it's something you want to continue with, and let others know about what your channel is about. And so the next channel we have in the list is Franky Red. Now from here on, all the channels that I talk about are channels that amaze me in the sense that Franky Red is only beginning. You know, he only has less than 100 subscribers as I record this video, but I can't get over the professionalism of some of the channels that, you know, like right from the start. And I think it has to do with a lot of the reason I want to stay amateur is, you know, I don't talk very well, I don't have a great voice, and, you know, my intro is a bit amateurish, and, you know, all those kind of things. But I swear a lot of these people either come from university, or they, especially with someone like Chris Hay, they have an understanding of musical recording, you know, just university understanding, you know, business side. To me, Sim-Rcing 604 is like that as well. You know, they just have an understanding of business as well as just the skill of doing channels, you know, high quality channels. And to me, Franky Red falls in that kind of group where I'm just so impressed by the footage that he is doing, even though he's just starting out. So that's one of the channels that I highly recommend, and all the channels following are also channels that I think have a great chance to grow into some fantastic channels. And now the next channel I recommend, and I hope I pronounce this right, I would pronounce it MoonieGT. He's another channel too. Now I've caught some of his you know, comments on Facebook actually because of Automobilista 2, so I've got to see him there. But if you check out the last video, he's been racing with RVR Closet and doing, they both have a video out together, so it's from each person's perspective. And again, just another great channel good voice. Just the way they present the channel as a whole is absolutely fantastic. So another highly recommended channel, even though he's another one that's really just starting out. And so we're midway through the list now, and the next one I have is RearView Racing. And RearView Racing is a great example of a channel that should be above me, even though they've started out and they've got less subscribers than me. One of the things that I feel that is lacking in my channel is I don't have the ability, or maybe I'm a bit paranoid to do it, but to do proper reviews, especially hardware reviews. I have a couple, but nothing major. And so as you can see in his banner in the top, he covers all those types of things. So the channel has a lot of scope and different styles of racing. And I think when you look at channels like Chris Hay and Sim-Rcing 604, it's that variety that probably propels you more above, or has potential to propel you more above the other channels that, like myself, where I used to just focus on Assetto Corsa and the mods that you could get for Assetto Corsa. And the next one we have on the list is the Sim Contender. I believe his previous channel name was, if I get this right, I hope I get this right, Jamie, but I believe it was Jamie HD. I can't quite remember, but yeah, he had a name change, and I identify more with him probably because we both have the same outlook for our channel, which is we both don't feel we're alien drivers, but we want so desperately to not only improve ourselves, but help other people who are at our level try and figure out how to improve all together. You know, in other words, make sim racing as a community better and more enjoyable, and just bring in all these games and let's all just improve together. So if you like that concept, he is another channel that I highly recommend. And now the next channel in the list is a great example of a channel that I want to give the second bit of advice about. And the channel is called GregzVR. That's Gregz with a Z, not an S. And it is a fantastic channel, but if you have a look at his channel layout, the thing that sets him up in the same vein as sort of Gamer Muscle or channels like that, where the way he does his thumbnails is immediately recognizable. And that's a key thing as well, is that his whole channel banner and all his thumbnails have a running theme. So when I get the recommended list in YouTube, when I see the thumbnail, I immediately know it's him. And just to give you the opposite example to that, let me show you something else. And so here I am back on my page, and I try and have a running theme, in the sense that I usually put wording, some sort of wording at the top and the bottom, you know, just to roughly get every thumbnail looking similar. But I often mention my sim racing brother Andrew, and he made a specific comment about this particular video here, and he said when he saw it on YouTube, he didn't even know it was me, because he was so used to seeing the writing at the top and the bottom. And my reasoning was I just wanted to show the car off as well as I could, but it really hit me that he was so used to me having that theme of the, you know, the way I do my thumbnail, that he didn't even recognize my own video, and he's my brother. So it's a great example when we go back to GregzVR, how a running theme of your thumbnail can really add to the potential for people to recognize your channel and click on your videos. And so we come to the final one in the list, at least as far as new channels go, or at least new to me, and that is RomRomNet. Now, RomRomNet is a great channel overall to do with mods and you know, different styles of racing, but also the only channel that I can think of immediately off the top of my head that does a weekly or some type of news coverage over sim racing is generally the Sim Pit. You know, Sim-Rcing 604 has some news updates, but it's generally about what has just happened in a new mod release or things like that. So if you want a weekly news, it might even be more than weekly, don't hold me to that because I'm still new to RomRomNet too, but if you want a coverage of new updated information regarding all racing sims, as you can see here by the last video he did, he does a full coverage of anything new regarding a bunch of sims. So I highly recommend his channel if you like to keep up to date with what's happening and you can't do it yourself amongst all the things like Facebook and, you know, all the feeds and everything like that. So he's a great channel with great coverage on all things sim racing if that's for you. And so that's it as far as the newer channels that I haven't recommended before, but I did want to throw in a couple of recommendations that I have covered before. The first one being Mystx24, and that's because he took a break for a while because he was having trouble with his gear, specifically the pedals, and he just couldn't race, and so he sorted that problem out and is now back. And I personally consider him an alien. One of the strongest features of his channel is he used to race Project Cars 2 and probably still will, but also now Automobilista 2, given they are very similar, and he loves to do personal bests or world records. Usually he's such a good driver that he often does world record hot lap times in these sims and others. So if your goal is to try and beat the world record time on any particular track, usually he loves Bathurst the most, but he does other tracks. So, you know, if you enjoy that and rallying as well, I highly recommend this channel. And then the final channel, of course, is a personal favourite of mine. It's the HumbleGeorge Channel, and the HumbleGeorge Channel is specifically focused on taking mods for Assetto Corsa and then just tweaking them to within an inch of their lives. Most of his cars can do anywhere from 4, 5 to 600 kilometers an hour. He's just a beast when it comes to crazy modding, but he's also learning at the same time, and that's what I enjoy about all these channels, is we're all trying to grow together. So I'm going to leave it there from the point of view that he also did another single racer special edition skin for me in the Panoz. I believe it's called the GTR1, and so I'm going to leave it there and feature a hot lap on Bathurst in this newly acquired Panoz GTR1 with the HumbleGeorge and Skronky, as his pet engineer is known, the skin that he did for that car. So I hope you enjoyed all those channels, and I'll have a link to each channel in the description, so you can just click on any particular one that sticks out to you if you want to check them out and subscribe to them, or just follow them for a couple of videos until you get the feel of what their channel is about. So I hope that and the tips were helpful to you. So this is Michael signing out for Single Racer. I'll catch you next time. See you later, and let's go hot lapping HumbleGeorge style. See ya.